Is making money online actually legitimate, or is it a scam altogether? And should you just go the regular route of climbing the corporate ladder and working a normal 9 to 5 job? So I want to talk about this as someone who has been in the online business slash make money online industry for almost 10 years. If you do research on me, you can look up my name, Ari Ortiz, on YouTube or Facebook. That's ARIE Ortiz. You can look that name up online and you will find many videos of me going back even as far as like 2018, 2017, if you do enough digging on me, right? So you can look up that name. You could see, videos that I've made about this industry. And I want to give my honest perspective as far as whether or not making money online is actually legitimate and the number one thing that I've learned after this time. So very early on when I got into this, when I started looking for ways of making money online outside of a regular 9 to 5, I was met with a lot of criticism towards friends and family, just in my personal life, saying like, all that stuff's a scam. You'd be better off going to school, work a normal job. And if you try to make money online, then you're just going to end up getting scammed. And so that's basically like the gist of what I was told. And so I would have family members like saying like, hey, you should go back to university and pursue these classes or whatever. And I've always ignored it because, when I look at, most people that I know just in real life and even people that I've worked with, in like regular jobs, almost everyone that I know that is making money, the regular way, which is just working, trading time for money, they're all miserable and they are barely able to pay their bills. And more people are working more than they've ever been. And there's this whole perception of like young people, like older folks, they look at like millennials and Gen Z, like I'd say like a lot of like boomers especially, they look at us and think like, oh, like, these young people today, they're lazy, they don't actually want to work. But I would actually make the argument that young people today work even more than like the older folks, and that's because they're constantly trying to get by. But unfortunately, with most of these jobs, the spending power is going down. So what's happening is you have like young people, they're not going out, they're not socializing as much, and a lot of that just comes down to the fact that we're working more than we've ever been. So like most people that I know, they're working 40 hours a week at a job. And typically when you come home from work, all you want to do is you just want to relax, right? And that's especially if you're doing like, physical labor, which often is taking a toll on your body. You want to relax, you want to watch a good movie, but because, cost of everything is constantly going up, then you likely feel obligated to work more hours, maybe doing like Uber or something like that on the side, right? So imagine working 40 hours a week at a job, and that in itself is barely enough to live comfortably on your alone, let alone supporting an entire family. And then on top of that, working an extra 10 hours a week doing Uber, DoorDash, one of these other like gig apps, and people are still barely scraping by with that. So as a result, you have the birth rate is continuing to go down because their spending power is decreasing. Less people are interacting with each other. There's a lot more division. There's a lot more degeneracy. All of that stems from the fact that our spending power is continuing to decrease. Now, you can, say it's because of this politician or whatever, but the reality is it's still happening no matter who's in office. So the elites are continuing to print trillions of dollars, and I believe that it is the best power that young people have today is making money online, because with an online business, you have location freedom, which is the ultimate power that you have because you can live wherever you want. So if it's super expensive in your area and if there isn't as many opportunities, well, then you can make an income online. Maybe you earn a couple $1,000 online or something like that. And then you could move to where it's a lot cheaper. And so that's why, for me, I've clinged on to the idea of making money online when I was just 19 years old, fresh out of high school. So I'm currently 28 years old right now. As of next year, it'll have been 10 years in the online space. So the number one thing that I've learned is most online business models out there, right? You have Amazon FBA, you have e-commerce, you have digital marketing, which is what I do personally. And then the latest thing that a lot of people are jumping on is like AI, right? So All of these things, they're all legit. And of course, people have perceptions of them like, oh, this one's a scam because this person has like a $1,000 course that he sells, and it's not worth that much. You can learn all that information for free online. But the reality is when you are just focusing on like free ways of making money, what happens is you get all this information overload, and you don't exactly know what the best thing to focus on is, right? So the number one thing that I see with people who make the argument of like, courses are a scam or business opportunities are a scam and you could just learn this stuff online for free. Yes, that is true. And if you really do your research on something, then you can find something that works. However, the problem is oftentimes with the amount of information that's out there, it's very hard to know what to actually focus on, right? So I've always been a strong believer that when you pay attention. When you invest money into something, you typically stick with it, much longer. And when you stick with something long term, then you're that much more likely to get results. So no matter what business you go into, it's going to require work. It's going to require that you invest time, into it daily. And nothing is ever going to be, instant. You're not going to, invest into, you're not going to buy a course then immediately, make thousands overnight. You're not going to sign up to an affiliate program and get an affiliate link and just paste it all over social media and immediately start making money. You have to learn how to effectively market that, right? So with every single business model that's out there, the number one thing that you need traffic, right? So most likely, most business models that are out there require, you have a product of some sort. Maybe it's a course, maybe it's an ebook, maybe it is a coaching program you're promoting or a software. And it could either be something that you create yourself. So maybe you decide to teach people how to get in better shape, or you teach people how to get into cryptocurrency, right? If you want to actually make sales with that, then you need a way to get traffic online. The number one way of getting traffic that I believe is like the low-hanging fruit is going to be creating content online. And so attention is the number one currency in this economy right now. And if you can get really good at getting attention, like for example, like these types of videos that I'm making right here, this is like the low-hanging fruit that anyone can do, right? You can, set up your phone like this, as I'm doing right here. You could hit record, and then you can speak for, 5-10 minutes, and you could talk about a topic that you're learning about, right? And the benefit is these types of videos right here have potential to go viral. Now, is this video specifically gonna be seen by thousands of people? Probably not. However, what I'm doing is I am playing the numbers game with this YouTube channel, right? So while most videos that you post are not going to be seen, they're not going to go instantly viral. The thing is, if you play the numbers game and you post more than the average person, then you're going to get seen by more people, and that's pretty much a guaranteed fact. So I've had other YouTube channels in the past where I used to have like a full script written out. I would try to say everything perfectly. If I stumbled upon like one word, I would stop the entire recording and film the entire thing all over again, start to finish. And then on top of that, I would pay money for an editor, right? So if I were to do this now, like I could probably just use some AI software. But at the time, when I first started posting content back in 2018, 2019-ish, I hired someone on a platform called Upwork. And I would pay him like 15 or 30 bucks per video, and I was uploading multiple videos per week. So keep in mind, I wasn't making money online yet. I was still working a normal 9-to-5 job, which was within walking distance of where I lived. And a lot of the money that I made at that job was going towards that. And I was hoping that if I put enough effort into videos that, doing that approach, really perfecting every single video, that eventually one of those would take off. And so even though I had videos that got quite a significant amount of views, I would get videos that were, that went super viral. That doesn't automatically guarantee that you're going to make money. And so really the number one thing that you need is you need to post consistently. If this is mainly if you're promoting stuff online or selling products, which is going to be the case for most people. And creating content is going to be the low-hanging fruit. So if you play the numbers game, then eventually you're going to get seen. And if you have a message that is strong enough and you have an offer that people actually are interested in, then that is what's going to allow you to actually make money with really anything that you want to sell or market online. So when people get online and they join, the number one thing that I've noticed, like with people that get into online marketing, for example, right? I promote a program. I have a online community that I promote alongside with it. And I've had people over the years that, have joined me in certain things. And then, like a week or two later, they'll message me saying like, hey, I've been in this thing for a week. I've been in it for 2 weeks and I still haven't made any money yet. And I would ask them like, what have you actually done? Like, how many leads are you getting, to your website, or people opting into your page? And then almost always the answer was no, they haven't done anything yet. I had one person that messaged me like saying like, I haven't made any money yet, but he didn't place a single ad online and he hasn't posted a single video. And so the question is, how do people actually find you if you're not willing to actually put yourself out there? So if you don't want to spend money on ads, which is understandable because that can get expensive, then you have to get your message out there somehow. And if you're not willing to post content online, then the other option is going to be maybe do something like reach out to people on Facebook, build a Facebook friends list, and then message people, right? And you can follow a script, and that's another way that you can market whatever you're trying to promote. Or you can place ads like outside or something like that. You can do like postcard marketing, right? But if you're not willing to actually put your message out there, then you're never going to make money regardless of how great the course is or regardless of how great the system is. And that's with every single business model. So the people that I see that say that, making money online is a scam, or, business opportunities are a scam, affiliate marketing is a scam, drop shipping is a scam, all these things are the same exact people that never take any action, and they're looking for a quick way to make money with doing nothing at all. So the one thing that I will say in defense of these people is there are plenty of coaches out there that will hype up and make all these guarantees that like, oh, I have seen people that will do like fake income proof where they'll do like the page inspector thing online, then they'll make it look like they're making all this money to get people to sign up to their course. So that is definitely something that happens. So what I would recommend if you are looking into, any way of making money online, if you're looking into buying a course, or you're looking for, whatever it is you're looking into, you want to look at the reputation of the person that you are aligning with, or the person whose course you're buying, whatever it is, right? Have they been in the industry for, many years? Have they been in the industry for, 10 years, right? And you want to, of course, know about their backstory more than anything else, right? So in my case, when I look into, like, I'm very selective in terms of what I promote. This is mainly talking in the affiliate marketing space. The number one thing that I look for is how long has the company been around? And does it have a good earning potential? Where if I promote it to people and I say, here, this is an income stream you could plug into and you can make money with. I look at, can the average person get in profit if they get, just a couple sales, right? And if the answer is yes, then it's something that I want to promote, assuming that, the products are of good quality and the company is likely to be around for many years to come. Now, what a lot of people, what a lot of leaders do in the affiliate marketing space is they will just promote any and every new thing that, any and every new product that launches. And the problem with most of these programs that come out is they don't last long term, right? They're hot, in the very beginning for like the first few weeks, and people market them like, oh, this is ground floor opportunity. You got to get in while, before it gets hot. And so they lure a bunch of people in from their massive, followings that they've built online. But then the people that they bring in, they're not really making any money at all, right? Maybe they make a little bit of money, in the beginning while there's a ton of buzz around it, but then it dies off, and then those leaders jump onto something else, and then they cross recruit and drag those people into that new program that launches. So that is definitely something that happens quite often, and I understand for that reason why a lot of people have a negative perception about the online marketing industry, for example. So yes, there is a lot of BS out there, but the number one message that I want to put out there is you want to focus on learning actual skills. So if you're getting into the online marketing space, for example, you want to focus on learning how to actually market online. And if you learn how to get really good at creating content online, either creating content on YouTube, or you figure out a way to go viral on Instagram or TikTok, or maybe you figure out a way how to run ads and you get a ton of people, opting into your page, then you can succeed with anything that you wish to promote, whether you promote other companies' products, or you eventually create your own thing and maybe you want to market, something that you create yourself. So that is ultimately how you can avoid getting scammed in this space, and what I would recommend. Just have that mindset overall. Like, instead of focusing so heavily on, the opportunity itself, and if I join this thing, I'll make all this money, set all that aside, for example, set aside the hype and focus on learning how to generate leads, learn how to get good at, video marketing, for example, writing emails. And if you learn these things, then you can succeed with anything that you set your mind to. So that's the message I want to put out in this video. If you want to see what I do to make money online, you could check out the exact system that I built, and you can learn more about what I do. Otherwise, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Give us a thumbs up and take care. See you in the next one.